Okay, so we're live. It's good. Yes. All right, welcome everyone to our new episode of our leadership series. I have with me a beautiful guest, Ranya Ahmed, connecting from Canada. And we are talking about human design today. And I am so honored to have you with me. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Hynd, for having me. This is really a great opportunity to be with you, first and foremost, but also to talk about my passion for human design and bring that conversation to leadership. It's my pleasure to be here.
That's amazing. And it is about your passion to human design. So my first question is intriguing to me personally. What brought Rania to become such a reference and really understanding human design so well? How do we get to that?
Yes. So a little background story. Back in 2020, I've always been obsessed by reading and exploring and really improving my person as a person. And in 2020, that's when, the world shut down and everybody was home with a lot of time. We are trying to figure out what we want to do with our lives, facing our own demons, right? So I wanted to really work on myself and develop me as a person. And that's when I came across human design by total chance. And for the first time, I started hearing words that I have no idea what it means, like generator, manifesting generator, projector. And I was like,
oh my God, we're going to understand all of this today. I'm so excited.
I'm like, what is that? So I was intrigued and I went to generate my free chart and I started reading about my chart. And that's when it clicked. It was the permission slip that I have been waiting for all my life. And I think it was like a personal obsession. You know what I mean?
Pause here because I love the way you say it. It was the permission slip.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I love how you recognize it because a lot of women spend their life looking for that permission slip to themselves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
100%. In these words to it.
Yeah. Yes. And thank you for catching it because I lived my life feeling what's wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with me? But when I started understanding human design, I really understood that actually nothing is wrong with me. I was just not given the way I'm supposed to be living. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I call human design as like your manual on how to live. And because everybody is different and we just don't know. And when we don't know, we don't know. Right.
This is incredible. So there is actually a manual. This is like really, it's like we us as human, experience in our own life, there is a manual for it.
Yes. And the funny thing is that when I have like one-on-one clients, especially when we're looking at their chart and I'm telling them things, again, it's that permission slip because inside us, we know what's true, but we're just dismissing it.
Yes.
Because we're trying to listen to other people. We're feeling we're not good enough. We're feeling maybe that like, who would care about this gift that I have, right? So we're dismissing our own inner knowing.
That's right.
In pursuit of trying to be somebody else. And then we end up being frustrated and angry and disappointed and, like lost, really.
Yes.
So understanding human design for me was coming back to who I truly was, which I truly knew. And it was that permission slip to just love myself, like all of me, and also start looking at people differently. Like, what is your gift?
I love that. Yeah.
Like if I put
people differently.
Exactly. Like how, like I look at people differently and I value their gifts differently because I know this is a gift that I may not have it, But like you said, when you bring your light and I bring my light,
Yes.
something happens. The word
Something happens.
changes,
It
right?
does. It does. And this is the very reason why I'm doing this leadership series. It's because I know by putting forward different lights, we are illuminating so
Yeah.
much around us. And there is a
Yes.
ripple effect that comes with it. Let's come back to what you said, something so important, which is we know inside what we're supposed to do, but we don't listen to it.
Hmm.
How is that, and how your work can help us, can help guide us more to listening to that inside?
This is a big question.
Mm.
So to really like go into those different layers, the first thing I would say is that we're not taught how to make aligned decisions for ourselves to begin with, right?
Mm.
And I want to talk about this because this is very important. We hear a lot of people saying, what's your intuition is telling you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when I learned about human design, when I studied human design, I learned that not everybody can connect with their intuition in the same way.
Oh,
And I grew up feeling what's wrong with me because I don't know how to
well,
connect with that
connect.
piece of me,
So
right?
is it that people don't connect or their intuition the same way, or is it that people don't have the intuition the same way?
So our body communicates with us
Okay.
in a very specific way.
Okay.
So if we're looking at a human design chart, we look at all these centers and the way we're designed to make decisions, which in human design called the authority,
Hmm.
that's really your intuition. I call it your inner wisdom because it's different. So somebody with a
Yeah.
splenic authority, that's their intuition. They know what they need to do. Like right now, it whispers in the
Yes.
moment. That's the inner
Yeah.
knowing. But not everybody has this gift, right? Versus
Mm.
me,
Okay.
I
It
have an
whispers.
emotional authority. Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
And I have an emotional authority, which means I'm not designed to make spontaneous decisions in the moment. My inner
Mhm.
wisdom communicates with me over time. So I need to sleep on my
Mhm.
decisions, right?
Mm.
So growing
Yeah.
up in a family where, my mom has a splenic authority, she's very connected to her intuition. My dad has a sacral
Okay.
authority, he's very, listening to his gut feeling in the moment. And I'm
Okay.
emotional authority. Nobody taught me, you know what, sleep on it for a day or two and feel how, see how it feels.
Really? That's
My
oh,
sister is
uh-huh.
splenic authority, and she's like, "What's your intuition telling you?" I was like, "Stop saying that because it doesn't work
Yeah,
for me that way."
it doesn't work the same way. That's incredible.
Right? So
Yeah.
just by this like very little example, but very crucial to understand,
Mm,
is that each one of us has their own inner wisdom in our own unique
mm.
way. And once you understand that, once you start connecting with that, there's no turning back. I tell my clients, once you see it, you cannot unsee it,
That's so true.
right?
That is so
Once you
very
see
true.
it, you cannot
You
unsee
cannot
it. And it's
pretend you
because,
did not see it. Yeah.
yeah, because you finally have that manual of how does my intuition or inner wisdom talks to me, right?
Mhm.
So it is very important. And there are other areas of our lives when we start really understanding our design and connecting these thoughts. It just makes sense and it falls into place. And human design is an experiment,
Mm.
right? Of let me try this. How does that feel for me? And then you see the results, and then you're like, this actually worked. So let me do this more intentionally the next time,
Mm.
right? And you start seeing better results.
Mm.
And you start like, this actually works. Okay, like I
Yes.
can trust it. I can trust
Ah.
myself, right? And I call it taking our power back. Instead of I lived a lot of my years on this planet seeking answers from people
Mhm.
because
Mm.
again, I was not taught how to ride my own emotional waves and get the clarity from within. But now
Mhm.
that I know it, I can maybe seek advice if I need to. But oftentimes I would say, let me sleep with this for a couple of minutes,
Yeah.
for a couple of
And
days,
this is
see what
yeah.
comes through for me first. And then if I still need that advice, just, to be sure, especially like for a bigger decision or something that has a bigger
Yes.
impact, right? Then I would seek advice. But let me tune in first. Because
So
that's my emotional authority.
that this is very, very this is fascinating. So can you describe your life before understanding human design, and after understanding human design, when you start taking your power back?
Okay.
Just
So
give us a couple of
before
points.
human design,
Yeah.
and there are different elements, right? So
Yes.
before human
Yes.
design, I was trying to make as fast decisions as people who are very confident in making fast decisions and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
oftentimes
Yeah.
would make the wrong decisions.
Yeah,
I
because we
would
think that's
say,
confidence to do it
right?
fast. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times when I see posts like that on Facebook, I
Mhm.
intentionally post not everybody, like stop putting pressure on people because I'm that people who are not designed that way, right? And I speak for those people who are feeling pressured that they need to make a fast decision when our process actually takes a few days,
Mm.
right? So before knowing human design, I was that person who were always doubting my decisions because if I do them fast, I usually regret them or I don't feel
Yes.
solid
Yes.
after. I would change my mind because, again, my emotional wave, I'm excited today on a high emotional wave. And
Yeah.
tomorrow I'm like, ugh, why did I say yes?
What did I say?
Right.
What did I do it? Ah. Wow.
Right. Um, After human design, I'm telling, let me get back to you. Let me feel into this and I'll get back to
And you
you.
own it. You own
And
that.
I own it. I own my
Yes.
process because I
Yes.
know the outcome. And I always say, like, human design is not a switch on, switch off. Like, I've lived 30, 40 years making wrong decisions. And now that I know, okay, let me switch that. It's not. The
Ah.
deconditioning is deep, right?
Mhm.
And we need to practice and we'll get out of alignment and we'll get back into alignment. And it's a process, but
Mhm.
it gets faster and it gets easier as you keep practicing.
Mm.
And once you start feeling confident in your own way,
Yes.
again, there's no way you will unsee that. You know what I mean? And sometimes I would fall into that trap of, oh, I responded too fast. I should have waited. Right. And I get
You
the
still?
pain of it
You still
after.
do? You still
Sometimes I
do
do.
that?
Sometimes I
Really?
do. And I've been embodying my design for 5.5 years.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
So sometimes I would be like super excited not to say yes. And then I'm saying yes. I'm like, I should have waited. And I learned the lesson hard because now I know. Right.
No, you take your
So
time. You don't
now I take
need,
my
you
time.
don't let anything pushes you to make a decision when you're not ready for it.
No.
It takes a lot of willpower, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
And it
But isn't
takes
that isn't
also,
that my power?
it
It's
is. And
personal
this is
power.
right, because you said it, it's you taking back your power. And
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And you know what? If
Mhm.
the opportunity is no longer there, then maybe it wasn't even meant
Maybe it
for
wasn't
me,
meant to be. Exactly. Yeah.
right?
And I love that because this is like, it's almost, we admittedly, this conception, this is a word where there is a lot of conception. So there is an incitement, everything is inciting you to consume, to buy, to just like, and we feel somehow drawn to that, whether we want it or not. But to be able to like take a moment, I'm like, okay, I'm the type that should not be deciding fast. And you take a moment to do it.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you feel like always you're overspending, overdoing things, and then you're hating yourself for that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
What type of, you said that the charts are different. How many types of people are there? Are they 8 billion type of people, or is it like by category? Can you give us
So
more light on that?
there are 5 types,
Okay.
energetic types. So there
Mhm.
are the manifesting generators like me, and I see AJ's comments. She's a manifesting generator too. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
We have a generator.
Uh-huh.
We have the projectors, manifestors, and reflectors. So these are
Uh-huh.
the 5 types of
Okay.
energies,
Uh-huh.
but that's only the type. There is authority, which is how you're designed to make decisions. So you could have 2 manifesting generators, but each one is designed to make decisions differently. One is sacral, one is emotional authority,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then there is another layer, which is the profile, which is
Okay.
the lines, right? I'm a 4/6.
Okay.
There are like 5/2,
I am
one
5'3".
3.
I
Yeah,
know.
5/3.
I'm
Yeah.
5'3".
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these lines or profile is how you interact with people, how people see you. It has a lot to do with relationships,
Uh-huh.
sales, leadership, like, right? Like a lot of communication with
Uh-huh.
others. But then if you look at a chart, you will see that there are 9 shapes,
Yeah.
those triangle,
Uh-huh.
square,
Yeah.
diamond. These are
Yeah.
energetic centers, which we all have, the 9 centers. Each center has a theme,
Mhm.
but we could experience the energy of each center a little bit
Okay.
differently,
Okay.
depending if it's colored, if it's not colored. And a lot of our gifts are coming from those centers, and also a lot of our superpowers, which could also be triggers. So
Mm.
one of the things that I love talking about is turning your triggers into superpowers when you
Oh, I
learn
love
how to use that energy,
I love
because
it.
you could be
Huh.
triggered because you were never taught how to master that energy, but once you know it, then you take your power back and it becomes a superpower.
Once you know it, then you see it happening. You don't get
Absolutely.
fooled. Because sometimes we just get
Exactly.
fooled. It's like, what happened? How come I didn't see it? But now, like, you're like watching it happening. Yeah.
Because I know.
There
I
is
know where my
superpower in that.
triggers.
I think the word is spot on. It is superpower.
Yeah. It is. It is. And I always, like, my approach to human design is that there are no weaknesses in anybody's design. There's
Mm. I
zero
love that answer.
weaknesses.
Beautiful. This is to everybody to listen. There is no weakness
There is no
in
weaknesses.
anyone's design.
And every time I see a chart, I was like, oh my God, your chart is like amazing. I was like, but I say that about every single chart, but it's true.
Ah,
Like, it is amazing, right?
really? That's
Because
incredible.
everybody has their
I
own
love
gift.
your spirit. You are
I know, and I got the shoot.
incredible. You
But
really are.
because people,
Wow.
again, people are looking for that permission slip.
Yes. And there is beauty and perfection in anything you want to see if you want to. You get to define it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
I love that. So it doesn't
So
matter the numbers, really.
no, because each one has its own gift.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you have a defined or undefined center, because once you learn what's the gift or superpower behind it,
Yes. Yeah.
own it,
So can
right?
you, okay, this is great. This is great. Are you able to find the gifts within the chart? Like, can you like,
100%.
okay, this is a chart, let me spot your gift. Really? Huh, I need to share mine so that you can tell me what's the gift that you can see.
Send
That's
it to me
incredible.
after.
Yes, I will. Here's Alison is saying so true, and people truly need to feel that they matter and that they are seen. And I think, Ranya, your work is incredible because it's almost you reassuring everyone that there is nothing to fix. We're great the way
No,
we are. Really
no.
are. Yeah.
And
So,
oftentimes when I do sessions, sometimes I lean back, like, tell me
mm,
what you've got. Like, what do you truly believe in? And it's like,
mm,
okay. So they tell me what they want to, like, really do. And
you're
I'm like,
able to see it.
will it help you to say that you have this in your chart and that in your chart? Like, you know it. You don't need me. You don't need anybody. You need to trust yourself.
Yes,
Now go and change the world.
wow. That's quite empowering. It's quite empowering.
Yes.
And I think what I love about your approach is that it has something tangible to be able to explain the intangible. And I think
Mhm.
we crave for that, you know? It's like when you look at astrology and you look at, things, it's like somehow we always want to make sense of something. And
Yeah.
and the way you explain in human design, it's almost a roadmap to things that are not tangible, really.
Yeah. And I want to
So
say that it's one of my gifts that I
that was my next question. Is it a
yes,
gift or did
it is
you?
one of
Yeah,
my gifts
yeah.
to give you a new perspective and to show you what's
That's what
possible
I
for
was my
you.
question. Yes.
And I love doing that. So whenever I'm, like, looking at a chart, usually I love connecting the charts. Like, if we have
Mhm.
this and we have that and we have this, like, what can we do with all of that?
You can see that.
And I can see that. And if I remember very clearly, one of my clients, usually my clients come to me after they have done readings or after they have read about their design
Okay.
and they feel a little
After
bit
they
stuck.
figure it out, they're like,
They
no, I
try to
still have
figure it
something
out
to
on their
see.
own and they're like, oh, okay, let's hire Ranya, right? Because
Yeah.
me, I'm all about the embodiment. Like, how can we make this actionable and actually live it? And I'm
Okay.
a line 6. I teach from experience. Like, I'm a role model,
You
right? So
do. You
it's in
do.
alignment for
Mm.
me to do my business that way.
I love that.
And I I just lost my train of thought.
So
And
you
that's
were,
okay.
how do you apply that gift when somebody shows you the chart and you connect the ideas and connect
Yes, I
the
remember
what
now.
fits into the power? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And I know that a lot of people feel a little boxed in sometimes. Like,
Mm.
I'm a projector, I'm not supposed to do this, or I'm a generator, I'm not designed to do
And
this.
isn't that a trap?
It is a trap.
Mm.
And my approach would be, And I did that with one-on-one client recently. I was like, let's forget about your design for a second. Forget I'm a human design coach. Let's throw it out of the window. Let's have
Yeah.
a hard conversation. What do you
Okay.
want to do here?
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, and I'm like, okay, so if you want to do that, knowing that you're designed this way, how can we make this smarter? How can we make this work for you? What's the approach to make it happen? Right? So it's not to box us in, it's more of a cheat sheet of how can I do this, but in my own way, rather trying to do this, in your way. We all want to succeed. We all want to make
We all do.
whatever, right? We all,
We want to have
especially like,
yeah.
exactly. I was just going to say, especially if you're watching us here, you probably are
Yes.
like us.
Yeah,
We want to make
we
an
have
impact.
women watching us, and I'm sending you so much love, connecting from different platforms. Yeah, and this is so valuable what you're saying, so valuable, because a lot of time we try to find excuses when there are none, and if we don't have them, then we just look for something to kind of like this is because and a reason, something that explains why I'm blocked somewhere or I'm not doing. Yeah.
It's funny you say that because this morning I put out a reel on Instagram and I said, oftentimes why you're not getting what you want to get, it's because you are in your own way. You are the one blocking yourself. It's the story you've been telling yourself. And human design helps us shift that story because you could see your full potential.
Yes.
Maybe I'm living in the shadow of that specific center. How can I raise my frequency? How can I embody the highest version of myself, knowing that this is my gift, knowing that this is a superpower? How can I use that? If that's my superpower, what am I going to do with it?
I love that. Yeah. So I think everybody should feel all empowered. I'm standing back up. Everybody sit back up.
Yes, let's do that.
Power up. Let's all power up. This is how it feels with you. It's like, you know what? You got it all right. Your chart is perfect. Let's just, get your power back.
Yeah.
No more looking for reasons why it's not there. Yeah. So when someone feels down, it's like, is it because of those numbers? Does it help to go check them?
I would explore, what do you mean by that?
All right. So usually when you're like films like, okay, you kind of, let me go check the astrology, let me go check my HD, you try to find an answer somewhere. And the way you presenting that today, it can give you the answer because you're like, oh, maybe you need to use this something that you're better at to empower yourself. And so it might give you some alternatives.
You know what? There's this funny thought that's coming through, and I have no idea why I'm thinking that, but I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Are you a lefty or a right hand?
Right hand.
Imagine if you're living your life, all your life, eating with your left hand. And every time you eat, you kind of like, drip.
Yes.
And, you're trying so hard. Why isn't what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And then I tell you, Hynd, you're so focused on your left hand, try your right hand.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
You're so this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Let me get better. Let me get better. But drop the left hand, use the freaking right hand.
Wow.
It could be that simple, that you're trying to sell in a way.
Yeah.
You're trying to be somebody
Yes.
and you're pushing so hard
Yeah.
against your energy.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is that, have you tried your right hand? And you're like, well, I thought about it, but everybody was using their left hand.
So I did the same. Yeah.
Try
it is as
Right?
simple as basic. It is so beautiful. This is a perfect example because this is what we end up doing. We do not give ourselves a chance for an alternative. And if this chart could help, then everybody needs to look at the chart, look at how it works. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. This is nice. Everyone should come to Ranya and get this all understood. So whoever is watching us, you got to have your human design and this checked and defined and analyzed and all the charts. That's amazing. What is it that drove you to that? Did you just wake up one day? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to study this. What is it?
To me, it was a journey of self-love. I decided that nobody will change my life except myself, because everybody's worried about their own. So I've got to do something here. And I was on a journey of really knowing who I was.
Mhm.
My early 20s, I tried to fit in a lot. Again, line 6, part 1 of human design, if you're aware of that. So
Mhm.
a lot of trial and error, trying to fit in, trying to feel loved and accepted, to the point where I lost sense of who I truly was.
Mm.
So I was trying to find myself again, to take my power back and
Mm.
to like own it. And when I came across human design, things like that sparked, right?
Mm.
Things like how I'm experiencing my self-worth. And it was
Mm.
like so eye-opening in the chart. Things
Mm.
like, how am I supposed to do impact that I've always felt inside of me? I'm meant to do something bigger than this. So
Mm.
that validation, that permission slip, made me really fall in love with myself and get curious about understanding more about myself. And also I was a little bit skeptical about what does that all mean, right? So I
Mm.
was like, is that even true? So I went down the rabbit hole and starting to like really understand and read about it and watch videos and
Yes.
like go into
And learn
spirituality,
about it. Yeah.
comparison. It took me a couple of years to really like feel solid, like this is actually working, like I could just put my guards down.
Oh,
And what happened after is that I was so fascinated by my own embodiment journey, and I was talking about it on Instagram. I'm
yeah.
like, you guys will not, like, this is insane, this is what I've learned about myself today, and this is so true.
Mm.
And back then, I knew I wanted to be a coach, but I didn't know what niche or anything. So I was just like helping women with their goals, confidence, but the passion wasn't 100% there. Maybe it
Mm.
was like 90, 80.
Yeah,
Okay.
not bad. Not bad.
Not bad, but
Not
it's
bad.
not it. It's
Yeah.
not it. Until I received a couple of DMs saying, I watched your story about your human design. How much would you charge
Yeah. Oh,
to read
wow.
my chart?
That's incredible.
And my human design strategy is to respond. So when they gave me something, I responded
You
with,
were ready. You
yes,
were
this
ready
is
for
it.
it.
This is it. This is it. Right. So it's really a passion.
I
And
love that.
yeah,
I see it as leading yourself through your own journey. To me, you are the embodiment what self leadership is, like truly. Because often we think we this is where we're going to arrive and we're going to get there, but no, you need to take the path and lead yourself to that journey until you arrive, or you continuously go on that journey, and that's self leadership. And I think you beautifully expressing it today. This is incredible.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I always ask last same questions to my guests about what they feel when what leader means to them. So, what is it if I tell you're a leader? What does it entail for you? What does it mean?
You know what? It's funny you asked me that question, and I'm not prepared for this. So I'm just
No, I
like
know you were
sharing
not.
my
We didn't
heart,
tell
sharing
you
my
we're not
heart.
going to. I know, but that's the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah, but
share your heart.
I lived, I was born and raised in Egypt. And when I came to Canada, I had to start from scratch, right?
Mm.
And for me, I had the leadership as a goal. I want to grow in a company, get promoted, be a leader. I thought leader is power, or leader is where I will get noticed, where I will get validated. I'm the leader, right?
Yeah.
But since I came across human design, I've changed my perspective.
Mm.
And I think leader is about leading with me, like you said. I
Yes.
can become a leader just because I want to lead my own self.
Yes, absolutely.
And that makes the whole word changes because I'm no longer needing that outside validation.
Absolutely. And you exactly. And you never needed it actually. Never
No,
knew.
no.
Being a leader is not because somebody decides that we are. You take on that role and you insist on keeping it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I recently had, a client, and she said, oh, like, I want to be like you, a high level coach. I'm like, hold on, don't say it. Like, did you just say that? Like, it's because I'm owning myself now. People could see that in
Mm.
me,
I love
but
that.
I'm an ordinary girl trying to figure out how can I best perform in this on
I
this
think you
planet,
are. I think you are the embodiment of leadership is because leader is is a student of leadership for life. We
Yeah,
are continuously learning. We are continuously growing. It's a whole process, and the whole thing is to
absolutely.
be in an ascension, like going up in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
process. And if we are able to mirror that, people mirror it back to us.
And again, it's part of, I'm a 4/6, so I am designed to be a role model. And if I said,
Oh,
if I'm going to be a role model, I'd rather role model my embodiment journey for human design,
I
which
love
is
it.
the
This
whole what.
was, yes, and you're doing it so beautifully. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for your
Thank
time,
you.
for giving us some insight about this incredible, intriguing field of human design. Now we understand it better. Thank you for being with me today.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you,
for this
everyone.
opportunity and having me. I'm really, really, really grateful for this. Thank you, Hind.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being with us.